Honeymoon Bridge, Niagara Falls, New York City collapses as a result of an ice jam. 75th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg, and Hitler was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year as most influential person of the year. The year is 1938. And this interesting looking truck with a Cabover engine configuration could be bought from Studebaker. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like, the automotive channel that features the different and unique vehicles, dares you to drive something different, whether that be for daily or recreation. We feature the classics, vintage, some exotics, engine episodes on Wednesday, history, specs, button switches and knobs, but most importantly, we show what these cars are like. If that sounds like a channel that would totally interest you, something that you would dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. 1938 Studebaker Co., which stands for Cabover engine, is currently for sale at Classic Auto Mall, Morgantown, Pennsylvania, with over 1,000 cars for sale when recording this episode. It's open to the public and anybody can go peruse their inventory. Cars from all decades, so there really is something there for everyone. At Classic Auto Mall for hours of operation, directions, and more pictures pertaining to this very truck. Be sure to click the link below after the show. So back in the day when you wanted to buy a truck, you had options. Half-ton Coupe Express, which was totally redesigned for 1938. For those that don't know, Studebaker offered a car-based truck called the Coupe Express. They only offered the Coupe Express for a very small window in time. For 3 years, 1937, 1938, 1939. My humble opinion, the best looking truck ever made was the 1937 Studebaker Coupe Express. I mean, just take a gander at that. Isn't it just gorgeous? Followed very closely by the Hudson Big Boy. Anyway, if half-ton wasn't your forte, if you needed something a little bit with more power and more capability, Studebaker could totally help you out with that. In 1938, Studebaker was calling their truck line K-Series, which replaced the J-Series from 1937, starting with the K10, which was a 3/4 to 1 ton truck, followed by the K15, which was a 1.5 to 2 ton truck, K20, 2 to 3 tons, K25, 2.5 to 4 tons. K30 was at the top, and that was anywhere from 3 to 5 tons. Studebaker offered a variety of different truck options, bed options like flatbed, grain bed, box, many different style of boxes. The possibilities literally seemed endless. You also had 2 flavors of cab, standard cab or forward cab, a.k.a. Cabover engine. Cabover engine wasn't really a new thing in 1938. It was actually used first by Autocar in 1899, but they called it engine under seat. Companies liked this design because it had a smaller footprint, because the engine and the driver took up the same space, leaving more room to party in the back. Let's talk engine. 226 cubic inch displacement, flathead 6, 3.7 liters. It's good for 85 horsepower, 3,200 RPM, 170 pound-feet, or 231 Newton meters at 1,200 RPM, with a bore of 3 15/16 inches and a stroke of 4 3/8 inches. Compression was 6 to 1. This engine featured aluminum pistons, 4 main bearings. It was backed to a 4-speed manual transmission. So let's talk styling. Look at these indicators, headlights. I love these fenders, just how they're designed, kind of swoop back. Studebaker nice and proud here on the hubcaps. These look like Dayton wheels. Look at this grill, how it comes to a peak here, points in the center. It's huge. It almost looks like a shield. How it comes to a point down here. Bumpers have one center line. Just look how that bumper is attached. It's got vents. That's what this is. There's a vent there. There's also a vent here. Also, look at how the headlight is mounted. It's mounted on this pedestal. How it's designed. Whitney Farms. So somebody used this as a milk truck or a mock milk truck. This is where the gas goes. Fender skirts on the bed. Also has side lights. Brake lights. Has mud flaps. It is clean underneath here. I mean, this thing looks brand spanking new underneath. So, has mirrors. This truck also has drip rails that run just the length of the cab. Windshield wipers are mounted at the top. This Studebaker almost looks like a radiator cap. Also notice the black accents with the red pinstriping. How it comes around to the door here. Nice Studebaker badge there as well. This is a handle to help you get in the truck, and I absolutely love the design of it. This door doesn't have a lot of heft to it, but notice it doesn't have a material on the inside either. It's just metal. Look at all the beads running the perimeter of the door. Pull the door shut, window crank for the big window, operates like that. This is the door handle. This is the door handle to get out. Coming down inside the pedal box down here. Clutch, brake, gas pedals right here. It's kind of sort of almost on the floor. Just take a look at this interior. Here is what over the hood looks like. Here's what first person over the hood looks like. On to the button switches and knobs. Key, amp meter, gasoline gauge, odometer, speedometer. There are two poles that flank the speedometer, and I think one is for the choke and the other one is for hand throttle, but I'm not 100% sure on that. High beam indication, coolant temperature, oil pressure. Down below, there's enough space to put my hand in between the steering wheel and my lap. The only reason I show that is because if you don't fit in the vehicle, it's not fun to drive. This one does have turn signals, aftermarket of course. This windshield does crank out. There's a crank there, but notice it's each individual pane. So this one will crank out, or this one will crank out, or both of them together. It's almost like a Volkswagen bus. This one has two rear view mirrors, only one windshield wiper, and there it is with the motor attached to it. On the positive side, there is nothing like it. It doesn't take up that much space. It has a small footprint considering this classification of truck it is. I mean, it could be longer. Full instrumentation, both windshields open up, different driving atmosphere against it. The seats, they sit rather upright. You have to climb in and out each time of use, and the engine servicing can be a bit tricky. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. Two scenarios today. In the first scenario, would you rather have a 1938 K15 standard cab or 1938 COE or forward cab or 1938 Coupe Express? I'm going to leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. On to the second scenario, 1938 Ford Cabover engine or 1938 Studebaker Cabover engine or 1938 Chevy Cabover engine. Once again, gonna leave this here for a minute. If you need more time, feel free, pause the video. Now it's time for Name That Tune. First person to get both the name of the band and the song title correctly in the comment section will have your comment pinned to the top of it. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. I call it the After Party. It gives you the opportunity to share your rides, stories, experiences. Anything car related is a go on there. If you don't have Facebook and would still like to reach me, send me an email. All of it will be linked in the description below. Just know I appreciate all of the support. And until next time, toodaloo!